Well, special love to all the blondes, because I feel like I can tell a blonde joke because I am one. Okay, so here we go. So a blonde and a redhead have a ranch, and they've just lost their bull. And the woman needs to buy another. The women need to buy another, but only have $500. And so the redhead tells the blonde, I will go to the market and see if I can find one for under that amount. If I can, I will send you a telegram. So she goes to the market and she finds another bull for $499. And so having only $1 left, she goes to the telegraph office and finds out that it cost $1 per word. So she's stumped on how to tell the blonde to bring the truck and the trailer. So finally, she tells the telegraph operator to send the word comfortable. Skeptical, the operator asks, how will she know to come with the trailer from just that word? And the redhead replies, she's a blonde, so she reads slow, comfortable. This is a Sunday about joy. Thank you for humoring me. Yes, thank you for humoring me. It's just fun to laugh. We need to laugh. So this message just to me felt like a natural flow from last week. Last week we practiced many meditation techniques, and the last one that we practiced was the one where we breathe in just life's beauty and wonder. And I love that. Because in this world that feels so intense, a lot of the time these days it feels like, what a joy it is to be able to just breathe in something that touches our heart, something that lifts our spirits. Because, I really feel like a lot of us, we're on this quest to be happy. We want happiness. There's so many books out there right now on this topic. And so I started to kind of look at this whole idea of happiness and what that's all about, and I started to kind of mull it over in my own heart about what is this quest for us to be happy? And I think often sometimes when we are on this journey and quest for happiness that we're looking at it from, if only this would be different out here, if only this wasn't happening, or if this would change, or if this was brought into my life, if I had more prosperity, if I won the lottery, boy, would I really be happy. But I started to look at the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness seems to me to be like this continuing over time. And then I started to look at joy. What is joy? And to me, joy is what happens when we consciously choose it moment to moment. That really a happy life is the sum total of all the moments of joy that we let in. And often it's hidden in plain sight. And I recently heard a TED Talk on joy by a speaker. She's an author, she's a designer named Ingrid Vitale Lee. She devoted 10 years of her life to answering the question, how do tangible things create intangible joy? And she talked about how color and our love of color can evoke joy, how the whimsical can evoke joy, and how just simple play can make us joyful. And of course, where I went, my goddaughter. And my goddaughter's 4 years old. And talk about someone who just models what joy is. And lately her thing is, Aunt Sheryl, you're going to be the wicked stepmother in Cinderella, or you're going to be the mean sister. And I'm like, well, can I just be something nice? But we do this, this imaginary play, and she just goes and expands and creates, dimensions of the Cinderella story that I've never heard. And she gets very serious about her art. She sits down and she is on it with her stickers and her paints and her crayons, without attachment to outcome and without judgment. She is very ready to say, okay, Aunt Sheryl, put this on your refrigerator. I love that. You know, Picasso said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Yeah, because then, you know, I just don't want to see this happen to her. You know, as we age, we just tend to get so serious and we get so judgmental and so critical, and we have to do it right and we have to stay inside the lines. So, what if we could just let ourselves play and explore, be goofy, tell dumb jokes? You know, without censoring. What if we could just let ourselves be and see life as much as we can through fresh eyes? There is a phenomenon that's happening right now, you guys, that I am just like over the moon about. So thanks to Ian, I have a house with woods in the back. And I love my woods. Ian Graded helped me find a house when I was looking. Bless his heart. It was quite the journey. But I finally found this house that had, because I'm in love with trees. I just felt like I needed trees. And so there's tons of trees in my backyard. And what I've noticed is that they are filled with fireflies right now. Oh, I mean, it's just, it just looks like this light show, and the trees are twinkling. And I've tried to video it, and it does not translate. But it's just this, to me, it's like, I'm like, what is it? I am like blissful in this moment. And I think about, it had me really start to think about how these simple pleasures in life, simple, like Janine and her butterflies, and, you know, just seeing a butterfly fly. And to me, Keith and Carrie, I tell you, I don't know, this year, I mean, you always do your magic on our campus. You see, but this year, I don't know what it is. It's like I pull into this campus and my heart is just, I get a little weepy because it's so gorgeous. It's so colorful everywhere. It's just something that I just don't want to take for granted because it doesn't, you know, in the fall, it's going to go away. You know, so letting life's joys in, because I notice that when I let it in, it strengthens me. I feel stronger. I feel more available and available to hold life when I'm in that joyful place. And so I was reminded of a Bible verse in Nehemiah. Remember, the joy of the Lord is my strength? Well, do you know the background of that story? Well, I'm going to tell you. Okay, and this is very much the condensed version because it's really a complicated story. But the essence of it is, okay, so stay with me. The Babylonians, under the leadership of Nebuchadnezzar, were conquered Judah, and they destroyed the temple and exiled the Jews. And many decades later, under King Cyrus, the Jews were allowed to return. And so this began what took over 100 years and is called the Return to Zion. And so during this time, Nehemiah was named governor of Judah, and he was determined to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem and start getting the people back in line following Jewish law, because during the exile, they'd kind of lost their way. And so in this chapter of the book of Nehemiah, the people had gathered for a 2-day celebration to commemorate the first day of the 7th ecclesiastical year and the New Year's Day of the Jewish civil year. Okay, this was a big day. This was a great day. The public reading of the scriptures was required by the law to be made every 7th year. But because they had been in exile, this practice had just kind of gone by the wayside. And so now it was being revived, and this was a really big deal. So there was a strong desire amongst those that had been exiled to kind of get back on track and to be more in integrity with who they were as Jews. So they called upon the scribe and priest Ezra to read the law to them, because see, back in those days, the law was read and interpreted by a priest. So Ezra stands on this wooden platform, and reads the law to the people. And he's got it going for like morning and midday. And finally, there's some backup priests, to give him a break. And so what happens is that as the people start to hear the law, they start to just get shameful, and they start to weep and mourn and just fall on the ground because they realize, wow, we're really not in alignment with who we are. And so Ezra says, whoa, everybody, chill. Okay, I'm sure he said that. Whoa, he said, don't stay in this place of grieving. Go eat. Go drink. Go celebrate. Be thankful. And remember those who are less fortunate than you. Go give them food and go give them drink, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. So I love that, because the people said, okay, we're going to go do that. And they did. And see, they were able to see beyond themselves as they celebrated their joy and give to others. See, I like this story because what a model it is for we can get so heavy and so in our stuff, about our sins, about ways we miss the mark. And let me tell you, the joy of the Lord is our strength. The joy of the I am nature you are is your strength, because your inherent nature and a dimension, a facet of the divine gem that you are, is joy. It is inherently who you are, and it's your strength. And so what I've gotten is, I think a lot of the spiritual journey, you guys, is as we grow and as we deepen and as we claim our joy and as we claim more of who we are, we're able to hold more of life. As we are able to hold more, we can go with it. And I wish you could see my feet, but I started to, it's a very weird phenomenon to see me in my living room, kind of practicing my talk. Because I'm like, oh yeah, and when we're joyful and when we allow life in, because if we don't allow, I just got this image of the physical body and how when we're in fear, we constrict, we're like, and I felt like the people that had been in exile, I felt like they were like this. How closed off we get tucked in, our eyes go down, our head, But when they started to wake up to life's joys, they opened. And so, as we let in life's joys, and we can see through fresh eyes maybe those routines that we do every day, and we can be curious, and we can pull on this campus, and we can just give such great thanks that we have a 4-acre campus that is lovingly tended by beautiful souls. It's so colorful and beautiful. And we come in this room and we get to see each other, fellow sojourners. As we do that, as we practice that, folks, we can take more. Do you know what when we open, we just open, we expand our capacity to hold life. And in that ability, we expand our ability to hold our own process. We are so hard on ourselves. We're so, with our stuff, with our hurts, with our sorrows. If we can expand our capacity to hold our own process, find life's joys, we can expand our capacity to hold the planet, to hold each other in love. You get it? Yeah. I just want to stay like this, because I feel like I'm letting you in. It's such a beautiful thing. The heart's open, it's exposed. All the chakras are open, especially that root one, that just where things get so stuck. The throat, speaking our truth. Yeah. Well, and what I love about it too is it lets in gratitude. Because when we're grateful for life in its fullness, it also expands our capacity. So I'm just going to invite you this week to just open your eyes a little wider. Check out the fireflies in the trees. You know, check out the color in life, the beauty, the wonder. Someone in your life that you see on a regular basis, I really invite you to look at them in a fresh way today. You know, life is sacred. And in this incarnation, sometimes it can be brief. Let's just let it all in, folks. It's so beautiful when we let it in. And as we do, we'll expand our capacity to hold the news, the next election, all of it. We can hold it. We're here because we can. Okay? Take a deep breath. You're going to let in life's joys? Moment to moment, present moment awareness? All right. Let's affirm together. As I find joy in each moment, I expand my capacity to hold all of life in awareness and gratitude. And so it is. Thank you.